Good morning, beautiful ladies. My name is Dr. Julie Two Moon, if you don't know who I am, although that would be interesting because you're on my page and in my group. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I just got back from vacation. I literally spent a week with 8 humans between 20 and 14 and my husband. There were 10 of us for most of the week, playing in the sun, on the beach, in nature. It was glorious. It was exactly what my soul needed. So here I am back, and I feel so jazzed about what's coming in a week. The energy behind this has been profound. Like, my soul keeps going like, oh my God, can we go have that conversation already? Like, it's time, it's time, it's time. And so here I am to have the conversation. Yeah, I know, right? You can feel it. It's like you can feel that. There is such a need for a shift on this planet and in our bodies. Of course, our bodies are totally connected to the whole rhythm of the planet. And there's so much going on that needs this alchemy of what only we can provide. I think we so easily forget, and a lot of times we've never been taught that we propagate the alchemy. We create so much of the alchemy that we experience in our life and in our body, in our health and our healing, and we collectively shift the balance. But it starts with us. We cannot sit back and wait for the alchemy of the world to shift. When the energy shifts, and then we'll join the energy, because somebody has to create the change. Somebody has to create the momentum. Somebody has to create the shift. And so many of us are sitting around so stuck in our bodies that like we don't have the capacity. And one of the big things that I see so much of the time, I've been in healing a long time, you guys. I mean, I got my Chinese medicine degree and my naturopathic degree back in the 90s. Then I started private practice. I've been walking forward since then. I've been walking with women of all kinds, of all conditions. The hardest cases always got brought to my door. I think the universe was like, here you go. And I used to think like, oh, it's just the steps. Like, if you can just get them to do the steps, everything changes. That was funny. It's not just the steps. If it were just the steps, like the gazillion books on health and healing that are out there, we'd have a population that is so healthy, like we can't even stand ourselves, kind of thing. Like, we're so healthy, we can't even stand ourselves. But that's not what we're experiencing. In fact, in the time that I've been in medicine, it's become harder to help people heal. People are more stuck than ever. It actually used to be that you made a few key shifts and like everything changed. And now that's not the case. We're more into the places that actually keep us entrenched than we ever have been in my history in medicine, which spans over 20 years. And one of the reasons for that, it's not access to information, because good gracious, if it was just access to information, oh my God. We have more access to information now than we ever have, and we're actually more stuck. That says something really potent about, is it information? Is it just the steps? No. And a big facet of this is how our mind is involved in the process, because we're not having enough conversations about how our mind creates the experience of matter in our body and the silent ways that our mind is participating. The silent ways that our beliefs perpetuate a lot of what we experience, even what our cells do. Yes, you guys, our beliefs are impacting what our cells do next. And this is so key, because if we have belief systems that are perpetuating stuckness, then we go do the things and our body goes. Because the command in the background is different than what the actions are. And this is so important. And let me tell you, there's no supplement that circumvents this issue. There's no food plan that's like, we got around the mind because we ate just enough spinach and broccoli. We ate just enough fruit. We put the superfoods in at the right time. Doesn't work that way. And I know that a lot of people wish it did, because you're like, oh my God, if I just, my functional medicine doctor said, if I just eat this diet, like I'm going to be fine, my autoimmune paleo, whatever. I've been at this a long time, you guys. We have to start to work with these deep facets that are partly directing our biology, and we have to meet them where they're at, and we have to unwind it. There's a whole rewiring that has to happen in our healing journey that rewires how our cells and our terrain, all that space around your cells, you guys, it's alive. It's alive, and it has so much more connection to your belief systems than even some of the cellular systems do. And that terrain space is responding. And a lot of the time it's responding to things that are happening that you aren't aware of. Most of us are carrying around patterns of thought and belief that we aren't even connected to, that our body's being subjected to, that's kind of perpetuating over and over and over the same processes and patterns. Good morning, Rhonda. And so if we desire that shift and change, one of the things we have to do is rewire the way our mind is used within the context of our body. We have to unearth and we have to connect to the belief systems that are perpetuating the cellular and tissue responses in our body. And then we have to be able to consistently meet them and unwind them so that we can actually foster new responses. Because if we don't do this, I've been at this a long time. And let me tell you that the women who learn to harness this skill, they keep generating new possibilities in their body. And the ones who never do, they keep going, why the heck am I still so stuck? And the danger zone is that when we stay stuck long enough, we start to take it on as an identity. And we start to actually hold that space that this is who we are, because that's what happens when we go see those medical doctors. They identify us by our disease. So they're like, yes, you're the Hashimoto's patient. Yes, you're the rheumatoid arthritis patient. You're the Lyme patient. And we start to put it on like a suit. And our mind goes, I'm the Lyme patient. That explains everything. And then our mind perpetuates that process with the body, and we have to learn to unwind it. The way that our beliefs foster biological change in our body is so profound. And so what I'm offering that we begin in a week is the path to rewire the way our beliefs and our mind work in our body, and the path to be able to identify consistently in an ongoing fashion the belief systems that are popping up in your life that are perpetuating your responses, and then be able to meet them and shift the way the mind works. This is not something that gets done in most places in healing. I'm not slamming therapists because I have a lot of good friends that are therapists, but let me tell you that therapy is not the way that most people ever get their beliefs shifted, because talking about it does not shift it, you guys. In most cases, talking about it entrenches the belief pattern. I'm going to walk you through a consistent method that you can use every single day to identify, relate to, notice the emotional effects of, and then shift belief patterns as they come and head them off so you can start to cultivate new responses in your biology, which are going to allow your cells the space to actually start to enact new pathways, because the belief systems won't be generating the matter responses at the cell that are perpetuating a lot of what you're experiencing. It also will help you establish the habits that allow you to shift. Because a lot of times we have great intention, like we're like, I so don't want to stay stuck anymore. But then the belief patterns that are perpetuating the stuckness continuously drive us off track. And we had great intent, but we find ourselves that we were like doing the thing. And then 6 months later, we're like, wait, I was doing the thing. What happened? Why aren't I doing the thing anymore? We didn't even notice where it shifted. We just followed the train of energy and the belief system off the path into no man's land. This is going to be 4 days with me. We are going to do some interactive days, which I rarely do. And I do it with my Women in Thriving Health. Of course, we have lots of interaction. Hello, Juliet. I like that name, Juliet. I mean, I'm a Julie, but I'm not a Juliet. We do that with Women in Thriving Health, where we have tons of interactive sessions every week, in fact. But I rarely do this in my smaller programs. So we're going to do interactive work to unwind beliefs that people find are a big part of their process, so that you can learn how to operate this like in real time, so that after this experience with me, you can go and you can walk this out yourself and keep walking it out yourself, so you can enact this tool in your life. This is going to shift something that we rarely get the chance to shift. And it's a code. So this is one of the codes of healing, is being able to work with the fact that the mind does create the experience of matter. And if we learn how to work with that, then we can make much bigger shifts in our own experience of matter and the trajectory of our body, our energy, our hormonal pathways. You guys have no idea the way that thought interacts with hormonal pathways. It's massive. Our immune system, oh my goodness. The immune system's function is so dictated by where our belief patterns are operating and what kind of thoughts we're perpetuating through our body or about our body. So in a world where everyone's concerned about every next infectious illness, let me tell you that operating with belief systems is so profoundly helpful. It's so massively impactful for what your immune system's going to do next. The chaos of autoimmune conditions, belief systems must be addressed. Gut issues and digestion. I know that they say like your gut is your second brain, but it's like more profound than that. The relationship between the nervous system connection and the way our mind works and belief patterns. So huge. So this has been on my heart for a long time. And I have, oh my gosh, I still have my bracelet on so I could get into the facilities. This is something that I have conversations with women, like when I meet with Women in Thriving Health, they do one-to-one with me and they do group. We commonly are discussing belief systems. When I meet with my private clients, we're often walking through belief systems. Yes, Rhonda, like we've been doing this so beautifully in Thriving Health. But I've even found that with, depending on like how we process information, like even women who've been with me, this will spark the deeper level of what you've been doing. And so we're going to walk through that and walk through the method and walk through the means so that you can do this on your own. Now, it is currently $33 for these 4 days. It is going up. I'm going to energetically follow when my body goes, boop, it's time. Because that wasn't what I intended this program to be, but that was what the universe said. We're starting at 33 and then we're gonna bring it up when the ping goes ping, it's time to raise it. So I don't know when that is, and you are free to do it however you choose. But at the moment, it is $33 and it will go up from there. To where? Not quite sure. So if you feel the energy of this, like as I'm talking, this energy of this way that beliefs intersect with our biology, and the energy of the potentiality of shifting it, and that gloriousness of like bringing pieces of your body like into cohesion together, and you want to understand how to create this. Oh, Tanya. Yes, right? The universe wanted me. The universe, that's how I live. The universe like, do that now. I'm like, oh, okay, excuse me. I gotta go do this now. if you feel that energy, like, you know, that's that space. So what Tanya just pointed out, like, that's how I live, like, where the universe is like, ping, pay attention here. I always follow that thread, because what I found is that I get placed in my path. What the universe knows is part of my journey, and it may not make sense to me at the moment, but it always makes sense, and it's always part of the thing, because usually I've been asking for something and the universe is like, all right, here, I'm gonna make sure that the means are placed in your path, or the prompt happens. And I found that when I don't follow it, that's fine. And often the universe will try to ping me again, but the more that I ignore the pings, the less that they show up. So yes, that is how I actually operate. And that's how I work too. Like, I know that every woman working with me, they felt that, oh my God, this is it. It's time. They like felt it for themselves. And that's why, like, my group of women is so, oh my God, their community is profound. And that's not what this live is about. But I mention that because that is actually how I live. And if this strikes you that way, then see if you want to follow that ping of the universe, because the universe is trying to help you do whatever it is you've been trying to do. So I love you. You're beautiful. I'm so excited to share this space. I actually already have 8 women in this process with me, because when I did the trust program, I offered this to them. And there are already 8 women here that, well, maybe not here, but in general, who are ready for this. And then many of the women in Thriving Health are going to be there. But if it calls to you, it's because it's for you. I wish you a beautiful day. You're amazing. You're gorgeous. You're lovely. You are all whole. Not one of you is broken. This is the process of reclaiming the connection to our wholeness that already exists, not repairing our brokenness. And I just want to make that very clear. You are already whole. We just forget the connection. And then we get the call that we want to experience that. So we have to do the work to come back to relationship with the wholeness, but you were never broken. I will see many of you in a week. The program's called Align, because we are aligning ourselves with our thoughts and our body so that our biology and our being can have the best experience. You're magical. Have a beautiful day.